Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are diving into ASP.NET Core MVC Routing, how URLs map to controllers and actions, also how default routing works and how to create your custom routes. So if you are using ASP.NET Core 6, 7, 8 or Visual Studio 2022, I mean 2022, then this video is perfect because routing is configured inside our program.cs, not in the startup.cs. If you see, we are using Visual Studio 2022, so we have a program.cs. So if you are using lower version, maybe you will find your startup.cs. All right. Okay. So let's start. So what is routing in ASP.NET Core MVC? Routing determines which URL should call which controller. We also open our page. Okay. And which action method should execute, which parameter should be passed. All right, what does it mean? So if you see this URL, let me copy this URL and paste it over here, and let me change it. So this is our base URL. If you see in both the uh, pages, so this is the base URL, right? Localhost colon 5296, and after that let me quickly append a name as products, and then details and any ID, let's say 1. So what is this URL saying? So basically this is our base URL, this is our controller name, our product controller, details is our action method, and this is our parameter. Let's consider this is a ID of any record. All right, now routing is the heart of MVC. Why? Because without routing, our application won't know which controller to execute. Okay. Now, what are the types of routing? Again, this is one of the most important concept for your ASP.NET MVC career. If you are in a ASP.NET MVC, or you are a ASP.NET MVC developer, or you are preparing for ASP.NET MVC interview. So this is the most important topic you should consider, and you should take notes on every statement. All right. Now, what are the types of routing in ASP.NET Core MVC? So MVC.NET Core supports two type of routing. One is conventional routing, so that is used in ASP app controllers plus views, as we done in our previous video. Second is attribute routing. So when a route written above your controllers or action methods. So in this video we'll focus on both the approaches. So first one is, let's go back to the Visual Studio and open our program.cs. As I already mentioned, if you are using Visual Studio 2022, then you will find this file in your project. Let's open this, and here we can see we have a where builder and then builder.services. It is registering the services, and at the bottom we have this app.map controller route. Name is default, this is the pattern, controller is home, and action is index, and we have then ID. So simply understand the default route. So basically whenever we run our this particular project, so it will come to this file and see what is the default routing method. Means by default, if you don't provide any controller name, so it will directly go to this home controller, and then it will go to this index method, and it will see if there are any additional parameters are provided or not. All right. So basically this is your default URL. And how this work? So if we don't pass, as I mentioned, if I again go back to the browser here, let's remove everything, hit enter. So it is going to your default route because this is the default routing and default controller is home. And if I also do index, this will, sorry, not like this, home and index. So this will also show the same UI because this will go to your home controller and the default routing is index. If I also remove this, it will go to your index page. Okay. Now, third is if I go here and say index slash, let's say 5. Why? It is showing the same UI because of your default routing. This ID is optional. If you pass, if you don't pass, doesn't matter. It will work as expected. So that's how you can see how URL works. Now, how routing resolves controller. Let's go back to the Visual Studio. Let's okay, let me quickly add one more controller. Okay, we need to stop this. Add controller, empty controller, and the name is products controller, add. So this is our new controller, and within this, let me quickly remove this and return a simple static content. Let's say this is an e-commerce products page. Okay, now let's also add one more action method. So public I action result, and let's say details, and here pass int ID, and here also will return the content here. Product details for the ID is equal to, okay, let's add one dollar sign, and then we can pass the dynamic parameters here. So ID. Save. What we have done is we have added a product controller, and then we have added a simple uh, two action methods. One is index and another one is details. So save, and let's try to run this. We'll see how this works in the browser. So we'll try to access the default route, and the index one and the details. So here it is. Let's copy this default URL, paste. So products. So this is an e-commerce product page. All right. Also, if you pass your action method name, so the UI will be same. Let me quickly duplicate this page. And here, if you pass, let's say ID 5. So this is an e-commerce page. Why? We need to change the action method as details. Save. So product detail for the ID 5. If I change it to, let's say, 15, so the number is also changed as 15. So that's how routing automatically maps this product or product slash index to your products controller and the index action method. And if when we pass product details and the ID of any record, it directly applies to your corresponding action method. All right, this products slash details and the ID. Okay, now we can also pass multiple routes in our program.cs. Let's say if you see here, these are the static routes. All right, if I go here and if I add, let's say, let me quickly comment this out, copy, paste, save. So here, let me quickly give this. We have already created as the controller as products. So the products route, and in the pattern, Let's remove this. So our pattern will be, let's say, r hyphen products and then slash action is index and then id as optional. So id, and your whenever we our application will find this kind of a URL, so what will be your default controller? So defaults new. Okay, this is 1 minute, r product slash action index id. We don't need this. So new controller, and let's simply give your products controller name. Save. So if you notice, we have a pattern where we have r hyphen products and then the action method and the optional ID. But for this particular URL, when we try to hit this in browser, it will directly go to your products controller and do whatever we have written in your index method. So that's how a user-friendly custom URL without using controller and action names work. All right, now let me quickly comment this and uncomment our actual one. Save. Let's reload the page. Now, another one is attribute routing. So attribute routing is when we write the route above the controller or action names. So if I go to your product controller, so here we have this. So here we have attribute called route. Within this, we can give any route name. So if I give, let's say, products. So now this controller will take the first parameter name, the controller name as products. Or if I give product names, so it will start taking the URL with the product names. So if we try to give name as products, it will not come here, it will not cater any your action method request. Okay, so that's how we can give your route on controller level. Same thing, we can also give your attribute route on your action method. So if I give, let's say, route, this is one route. Let's say if I give route is index, so this will take second route as index. And if I go on your details page, sorry, details action method, here, let's say details, then your ID. Okay, so this will take your URL as base URL, then your controller name, which is the base route as products, and then details, and then your ID. Now, so we can access your URLs as base URL, then slash products, base URL slash products, then index, and base URL slash products, then details, and your record ID. Okay, we can also combine both in our program.cs file. But for that, what you have to do is we have to enable our controllers. So app.map controller. So map controllers. Okay, you have to use this. You have to add this line below your map controller route. Okay, now let's go back to your product.controller again. Now, how we can add custom route constraint? Mean we can force some certain routes to accept only integers, strings, and ranges. Basically, you can provide your validation on your routing as well. How we can do that? So let me quickly copy this over here. Sorry, let's copy here and let's change the name as student details. All right, now, so here give a route as a route, and within this, let's say, let me change it to as product details. It will give you a meaningful name. So product and then details and your ID. If you give ID as, if you see, we can see all your data types. The moment you press colon, we can see the data types. So if I pass integer, so now what it will do is, so if anybody will pass, let's say details slash ABC, so it will say 404 not found. But if anybody will pass any integer value after this details, so it will pass and it will come to this particular route. So that's how we can use routing in our ASP.NET MVC. So let me quickly recap. So routing maps URLs, then controllers, then actions. Also, default route uses pattern. If you see here, this is the default route. The name is the default, pattern is the default home action. So if you don't pass any controller name, it will directly come to this default controller, whatever you have passed over here, and then your action method. Also, we can create custom routes using map controller route. So if you see here, you can simply pass one more over here. Attribute routing gives you full control over your route URL. So you can also create your custom URL, the SEO friendly URLs. All right. Also, constraint ensure valid and clean URLs, as we have already seen here. So you can also provide additional validation on your routes. Also, the order of routes, it matters. Means whatever route is the first one, it will cater that. Okay. Now, routing is one of the most important fundamentals of ASP.NET Core MVC. So make sure whatever we have discussed, you keep a note of it. Whatever details I have provided in this, so you can keep a note that will help you to prepare your MVC interview. All right. So if you like this video, please comment and uh, tell me which part you want me to create in our next videos. Also, if you are new to this channel, please do subscribe. I need your help and support. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.